What's up, guys? This is Eric Orega. Um, like I said, I promise to try to do more on-air stuff and show you my process of doing digital inking and working on Mango Studio. What I'm doing here, you can't actually see my computer, but what I do is I work on a Wacom um, Cintiq Companion, the first generation. I've had it for say about 2 years already, and it still works fine. It's great. I highly recommend it if you're very interested and dedicated to doing digital work. Um, and then on top of it, I use I use Mega Studio 5 right now. It's a great program. I highly recommend it for sure if you're doing lots of illustrating and it's great for inking as well. So and right now, I don't. Some people have already seen some of my process, but I've been working on the Maxx. It's one of my favorite characters by Sam Keith. One of the artists that completely changed my life when getting into art. I love Sam Keith. His work is amazing. A lot of people compare me to him. He's just so cool. So anyway, so right here, I am actually working on the Maxx. As you can see, it's already started. I work through it through layers. What I do is I do the pencils first. As you can see, this right here is pretty much what I do when I do any pencils. Barely anything. It's just basic layout, and that's it. Because since I'm doing my own inking, I just go into it, um, right away because I already know what I'm going to do. So I'd rather not do double the work. So I do the like pencils like this, very rough, just to get an idea, and then I go into the inking part, and you can see it here, and that's right there. So yeah, you can see right here, I have large preset of brushes when inking. I don't use them all. There are tons of different types. Some of them are actually too heavy for the program, and they'll do a lag, so I can't use them because it bugs me. So there are only certain ones I use depending on what I'm actually doing and what I need. Um, I normally do, I'd say about 95% of my work in Mega Studio. Um, Pencils, inks, I do everything. And then when I do the final textures and coloring, I throw that into Photoshop and do the rest there with other preset brushes and stuff like that. So let me just start doing something here. A lot of people, ask me about this. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Manga Studio. I prefer it over Photoshop. It's to me they're almost the exact same thing. It's just this one is much more fitted towards illustrators, as Photoshop is a lot more graphic design based and everything. So, uh, so yeah. So if you're an illustrator and you're planning to pick up or want to try something new, um, I would suggest picking up Mega Studio 5. Also, it's far cheaper than getting Photoshop. Much cheaper. Even if you're going for the legit full version, um, it's far cheaper to get Mega Studio. So I recommend it. I really do like it a lot. So. I'm hoping to have more Q&A doing my live videos. That way I can talk to people and answer people on the spot and see what they want to know. I kind of just do the basics. I don't get crazy at all on any of my programs. I hardly mess with settings. I kind of just go with what I have. Um, people go in and ask about vector stuff and everything. I don't mess with any of that. I just do the basic part of what the program of how what I need to know. Because I don't like to get all crazy. I'm pencil, ink, and that's it. The only thing I really do is I just adjust the brush size. Maybe like the brush density and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't get any crazier than that. Because doing the preset and how it's done, how it comes is good enough for me. And people seem to be fine with it through my artwork. There's plenty of great videos by other artists that get really into detail on how to use Mega Studio. I can't remember one of the artists' name who I used to look up. I'll try to get the link for you guys so you can look at him. But there's a lot of great tutorials you guys can check out on that. One of the big things about Mega Studio, which is really cool, is it has an amazing a perspective tool that helps you just build and create awesome perspective guidelines. It's pretty amazing. I could try to show that to you next time. It's a huge help. It really is a huge help. So yeah. So you can see here as I'm doing these lines, you can see that the value that I get from just by the pressure sensitivity I have on with the pen. Again, you can see how thin that is, or I can get off thick. It's really cool. This Wacom tablet is just amazing. I know it's already in its second generation now. I don't know what the full details of what the difference is between the first and second. But I'm completely fine with this first generation. I don't need to upgrade anything. Hopefully not anytime soon. Because it's doing great for me. Why do I have it? So I do a lot of conventions. I travel around the country, everywhere. And a big thing while traveling is I felt I was wasting a lot of time while working at airports just setting up my laptop, because I used to have an older Cintiq, which was the external monitor where you would connect and everything like that. And I was just spending so much time just connecting everything. I mean, there was so much ports, and I had to have like double outlets and everything just to get it going. And then when I finally found out that they were coming out with this one, and I tried it out at a convention, I was sold right away. It's so great. So using this on the plane or wherever I'm traveling, if even I'm on a road trip and one of my friends is driving us to a location, I'll take this out in the car or airplane and start drawing and working on things, and it's not a hassle. It's right on your lap. It's like just literally like it's drawing on a sketchbook. Yeah, I love this thing. It's great, and it's helped me so much with when I'm at the airport and I've had delayed flights and everything. And before, delayed flights would be like a nightmare, and now I get excited when I get a delayed flight, because then I can just work more at the airport, and usually I get a free airplane trip out of it, so it doesn't cost me anything. It's actually pretty cool. One of my favorite things about inking is I love doing a lot of dark areas. Um, and and using a white over it. I love the detail that can come out of something like that. It's incredible. It just the way it blends in. Um, I grew up doing traditional inking, nibs and brushes and stuff. Um, and one of my most favorite things to doing while inking was adding the white ink. I loved it. I absolutely loved doing things like that. Because I think that's where the actual texture for me comes in. You get some great just tones and variations and just a lot of cool effects in adding white. So why Sam Keith? Well, let me tell you guys something. If you know who Sam Keith is, then you really don't need a big explanation. But for those who don't know who Sam Keith is, he was the creator of the Maxx, this character right here. A lot of people know him because he got very, very big when MTV had a cartoon of him in the 90s. It would come on MTV Oddities late at night. It was brilliant. Such a awesome, awesome cartoon. And that's where most people were introduced to the character, not Sam Keith, but the character of the Maxx. Um, so Sam Keith. Well, let me tell you about, like a little bit in my background of how I got into comic books. My brother was a big comic book collector, huge. He was the big nerd and everything. Could geek out like everybody, just could tell you the issue of every conversation of what character came out. And I would go and look at his books. I just like looking at the artwork and looking at all the cool issues he would get. I wouldn't really read them. I would just really stare at the artwork and just be like, "Wow, that's so cool and very neat." And so one day I got into like I saw one of his covers, um, and I just started drawing it. I just started mimicking, and it's usually how many artists get into, especially comic artists, get into art, and they just start mimicking certain books and stuff like that. So I started drawing, and then I just found that I loved it, and I kept going. Just random. I don't even know who the artists were. I just started doing grabbing random books and just copying things. And then I started stumbling upon some really amazing artwork by Jim Lee when he was doing X-Men, and then Will Spertasio, who was Will Spertasio was when I saw his artwork was probably the one who I decided there like I want to be like this person and I want to be into comic books and drawing like this guy. Will Spertasio's artwork was just incredible on X Factor and Uncanny X-Men, and he was doing some Punisher. I knew that was going to be my life. So so I just saw all these books, like those books are what my brother had, and it was just so cool. I was just like, wow. So one day, as I'm just kind of again thumbing through my brother's books, I come across Wolverine. Not Wolverine the book. I come across the character, or as I was when I first saw it, I was trying to figure out if it was Wolverine. And I saw the book was called Marvel Comics Presents, and I just was staring at this book, and I was just like, what is going on here with Wolverine? When I figured out it really was him, and I opened the book. Marvel Comics presents, while in Sam Keith's run, there was multiple stories. I believe there was four. When you looked at when you saw one side of the book, there was too many stories, and you actually flipped the book over, and there was two more stories in the back. Um, and Sam Keith was doing Wolverine, and he was doing the Cyber Wolverine versus Cyber issues, and I just couldn't. It was just taking it all in. It was so overwhelming looking at this guy's artwork, and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It was just fascinating. So I keep looking through more issues, and I'm just again just fascinated by this guy's artwork, and then I realized actual style. Um, it just dawned on me that what art style meant and how um, and that it just like, okay, well, you don't have to draw Wolverine in that certain way. You can actually do Wolverine however you feel like doing Wolverine. It his idea of Wolverine and Cyber and Nightcrawler were just so amazing. I was just like just thrown back by them. I was like, this is so you can. This is what style means. This is what an artist's style looks like. And from there, that's what pretty much was the game changer for me, knowing that you could do whatever you wanted as an artist. That's where it meant being creative and really doing your vision of what things look like. And that's Sam Keith was the one to introduce me to that. Um, again, I was also still a huge fan of all. Growing up in with the comic books in the late '80s and early '90s, I grew up with the Image guys, McFarlane, Pitasio, Jim Lee, Silvestri, Del Keong, all these amazing artists, incredible artists. And again, I followed all of them, and Sam Keith with the Maxx, which is an incredible book. So and then just from then on, I've always been just a huge fan of Sam's. Incredible artist. So yeah, guys, if you can, please, if you really want to be fascinated about with some artwork. I apologize that I don't know the actual issue numbers, but it's Marvel Comics Presents. Just type it up in Google. But Marvel Comics Presents Sam Keith. I believe I'm probably really wrong on this, but I believe it started on issue 90. But you'll see Wolverine and some Cyber covers, and please go and there's trade paperbacks of these that are for sale, so you can get all the issues in one. Or if you're at a convention, so you can go find them in the dollar bins or whatever if they're there. Hopefully not, but yeah. Please do yourself a favor and look up Marvel Comics Presents Sam Keith, and you'll really know and see what amazing artwork is. Incredible. And again, if you guys know who this big guy here, the Maxx is, and I mean, this right here is what Sam Keith is. He's just he's so creative. Today, for me, still one of the most original characters ever created. If you haven't read the Maxx, I would say go. IDW has just re-released all the issues again, Um, Actually, what happened was Sam Keith kind of did the good old George Lucas thing and went back to the old issues and kind of just revamped them a little bit. He kind of fixed certain things he didn't like to begin with, and just kind of spruced them up a bit. And they're selling them again. They're back on the shelves. I believe they're on issue 20 right now. But again, you can find trade paperbacks of the Maxx, which I highly suggest. It's an incredible book, very, very, very interesting. Excuse me, a drink. Um, but yeah, I mean, look it up, please. It's amazing. So, yeah, we go into the wonderful world of Maxx with Julie, Mr. Gone, and those crazy Iz's. Which is you're saying, man, he's jumping all over the place. Yeah, I don't like to stick to one area. I get very distracted really easy when it comes to thinking. I kind of just go wherever and whenever I just catches something and I just go with it. I don't fight it. I know there's structure to things, but yeah. Big thing also, what I like about digital, honestly, to tell you the truth, I far prefer traditional. I would love to keep doing traditional, um, but it's just there's for me. I mean, I this is just me. Um, I just don't have the patience for it because I'm constantly doing more like other things. So and I can do much more art pieces digitally. Um, so that's why I kind of just transferred over to doing digital and got away from traditional. Um, I still love. I mean, anybody who does traditional, I mean, you guys are rock stars for sure, 100%. Um, I wish I can be that disciplined and keep it up. I do um, traditional pieces still when I do commission work and things like that. But again, it's hard for me to concentrate, and if when I'm doing tons of different art pieces, um, so that's the other hard part about it. Is my kind of my lack of focus. So, but what I was gonna say is that I I actually when I start a piece, I tend to then just jump to other art pieces. Let me do a quick save here. Um, what happens is here, so here in my layers area, I am here, and then I believe I have a black cat or no Catwoman. And I have a Catwoman underneath the rest of the layers. So I'll be doing some work. I'll be like here. I'm doing the Maxx, and then when I'm kind of I guess say bored, I hate to use that word, but when I just kind of look at something refreshing, I kind of will go to another art piece and just kind of continue it, just to keep myself into being motivated to keep going and drawing for the day. Um, yeah, so as you can see, this is my art. This is my pencils right here. So I'll do, you know, I said you could. It doesn't do anything. I mean, you're just starting another piece, kind of just going with it. To me, it's just a mental break from what I've been working on, and then when I'm good, you know, just kind of hide it and bring back the other guys and just keep going. You know, I mean, it's digital. You can do whatever you want. It's you know, it's not a big deal. Um, so I've always been one to not really follow rules. I've been kind of criticized by other people in the industry on how I work, and I really don't care. You do artwork the way you want to do artwork. Um, However makes you happy, you know. Uh, it's it's art. It's your creative getaway, and this is the way I enjoy doing it. And so I've had plenty of that happen to me, and yeah, it's I should ignore all that. Don't feel. I mean, really, this is my only personal advice is just don't feel you have to do things in a certain way. I mean, you're gonna more than likely have to if you get into like some sort of big job at a studio or something. Yeah, screw it. I can care less about all that. Um, I only reason I continue doing art is because the way I do art. It makes me happy. It's therapeutic. It's fun. I mean, people enjoy the way I come up with things and my look and art style. So that's what makes me happy. Um, I can't complain about that. So yeah. All right. So yeah, this is pretty much the way I do my inking and get things going art wise. So yeah, I mean, you know, if you guys ever have questions, let me know. Message me anywhere. Look it up on my, you know, look me up on my website, or whatever. You know, most of you guys are on some sort of social network with me, so you know, just ask me a question. I'll try to answer it next time on another video. Um, but you know, this is pretty much all I do. What I'll do next time is when I'll finish this up in the Manga Studio process, and then I'll put it into Photoshop, and I'll show you my 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 brush collection, and I'll show you how I'm gonna add more to it with textures and different things to give it that really cool effect that I have at the end. So, and then maybe I'll even do like the last part of it, which is doing my coloring. So, so this is the Maxx so far, what I did. So, um, I can give you maybe just another preview, which I'm working on. I'm going to be doing a lot. I'm doing a few conventions this year. Um, and right now, I really kind of enjoy working with certain cosplayers or certain models. They enjoy my art style, and you know, I've talked to certain people, and you know, we've kind of collaborated on certain things. And so I'll be working with a couple of cosplayers here and there. Again, certain models that aren't officially cosplayers. And so I'll show you a piece some people have already seen. Um, show you here. There you go. So I'm working on Kylo Ren, but girl version. Uh, People have called her Kyla Ren. This is based off of an amazing model. Her name is Nadia. And she's going to be cosplaying, I believe, at WonderCon and this type of uniform. I don't know if it'll be this explicit, but she'll be doing some roughly like this. So you can see right here, some of even my brush right here is a texture brush. I'll give you a little sample here. Oops. One second. There you go. Okay, so this brush here and that there adds that texture. And really quick preview, these right here are all my brushes. Tons of brushes, tons. They keep going and going and going. And I use them all the time on everything. Yeah, even this. Size here, and so as you can see, that's how I do some of my texturing right there like that. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you kind of learned a little bit. You know, again, you can always ask me questions, and I hope to do a lot more videos and show you things that I've got going on. I'm doing something a little different this year with my art prints. I'm no longer doing fan arts such as, you know, like a typical Spider-Man or Batman or whatever. This year I am actually introducing movie posters. So I'm going to be doing renditions of my favorite movies, but I'll be just, you know, doing prints of those. Fan art such as, you know, if you did want like a Spider-Man or Batman or whatever, will be on request only. And whatever remaining ones I have right now on my store will be it. And then things like this that I'm collaborating with her as this Kylo Ren. It will only be online sales. They won't be sold at conventions or anything. So yeah. So yeah, guys. So I really appreciate it if you guys got to watch this video. I hope it helps in some way. And yeah, I will try to create some more videos for you guys and hope you guys enjoy them. But thanks.